I said we can call her Lady Ombudsman, and of course she's our guest tonight, Mercy Wambua, OGW, the Communications Secretary Chief, that is Executive Officer of the Commission and Administrative Justice of the Office of Ombudsman. Quite a tongue twister right there, but equally has served as the CEO of LSK Kenya and therefore a legal brain right here in the country. It's an honor to have you, Wakili. Thank you so much for creating time.
Thank you very much also for hosting me.
It's a pleasure. So perhaps the first question then would be that most of the Kenyans are asking the confusion that comes along with this word ombudsman, that many of them came to understand of it more on that time of the BBI conversation. If you could speak to them and tell us, what is this ombudsman that is in existence, different from the BBI one that was quite controversial, a clause during this particular time?
Thank you very much. Let me start first by appreciating you hosting us today. And just to clarify for Kenyans, the Office of the Ombudsman, which is also known as the Commission on Administrative Justice, is a constitutional commission, actually one of the Chapter 15 commissions. And this commission is tasked with the responsibility of addressing maladministration in the public sector and also to oversee the implementation of access to information. It came into force after 2010 Constitution, so way before even the discussions about the judiciary ombudsman in the BBI. So what was being discussed in the BBI was judiciary ombudsman, which would have been an institutional ombudsman, totally different from the Commission on Administrative Justice. Yes, so that's the difference.
All right. And of course, now that we all know it's not ombudsman, it's ombudsman. Here is the biggest question that perhaps Kenyans are talking about oversight, and a majority of them would then question, the capability of the ombudsman or the ombudsman to actually proceed and, act despite the fact that they're getting to enjoy the taxpayers' money. But there's that general feeling that there's nothing much happening in this particular office or from this office that is to ensure that there's oversight. What do you make of that?
The Commission has done a lot of work.
In silence that Kenyans might not be knowing, or what?
Since its inception.
All right.
Let me agree that there may be a challenge in terms of publicizing the work that the Commission has done. But since the Commission came into force, there has been two sets of commissioners. We had the set of commissioners chaired by Otiende Omolo, who was the first chair, and then the second set of commissioners chaired by Honorable Florence Kajuju, whose term recently came to an end. In August. Since then, the Commission has continued to address cases of maladministration. You will be surprised to note that we have every year been receiving close to 4,000 complaints and handled all of them. In the last 6 years, we've been able to deal with almost 40,000 cases from the members of public. And we have been able to resolve these complaints. We also do a lot of advisories to the government. We have been able to advise the governments on matters of public interest, especially on matters of how public resources should be used and not to be used for private enrichment, especially during election times. We do a lot of investigations to unearth systemic challenges. We have done systemic investigations on the challenges facing the issuance of passports, given recommendations. And of late, the Cabinet Secretary Immigration has taken our recommendations into action, and we see a lot of improvement in that sector. We have also been able to do other investigations, systemic, touching on the plight of domestic immigrants to Saudi Arabia. These are some of the big investigations that we've done last year, and we gave recommendations which have actually been taken into consideration, and we are going to see changes in the law and policy that will address some of these challenges. We've done investigations on challenges facing payments of pension, and we've given recommendations, and we are happy to report that that has been picked up by the National Assembly, and currently there is a bill that is pending, actually passed by the National Assembly, now in Senate, touching on how pension should be streamlined and giving timelines on the time that should be spent before or after retirement of public servants. And that's one of the recommendations from the systemic investigations that we have been able to do.
How extensively do you always follow up to ensure that the recommendations that you record then are implemented? Because it's one thing to recommend, it's another to, to get to see even the policies that we come up with are implemented. For instance, you've seen some of the stories that we've carried tonight. First on the concerns of unemployment and the numerous Kenyans who appeared in KICC, in search of jobs. You have evidently seen, the cases of gender concerns and, the murder of women, as well as just generally the murder of persons. I mean, just how far would you extend to ensure that recommendations are implemented?
The establishing statute, which is the Commission on Administrative Justice Act, does provide for the procedure or processes to be followed to ensure that the recommendations of the Commission have been implemented. We do issue summons to accounting officers or responsible public servants to come and explain whether there are any difficulties they may be facing in implementation of the recommendations that we give. And in addition to that, we do forward reports to the National Assembly. In the event that some of the recommendations are not implemented, then the responsibility of enforcement of the recommendation vests with the National Assembly. We have appeared before JLAC, the National Assembly and Senate, and I've seen a lot of progress. Additionally, whenever public servants do not comply with the decision of the Commission on matters of maladministration, we do have a citation framework which was passed by our Commission last year. And with this citation framework, we are able to cite public servants as unfit to hold public office. That's a serious indictment on public servants, and I'm sure they wouldn't want to find themselves in that situation, and therefore they should be in a position to implement the recommendations of the Commission. But just to mention on access to information, which we also have a mandate to oversee, when citizens require information that is held by the government and also by private sector, and the information is denied, they file review with us, or an application for review with us, and the Commission considers, and when it deems it that the information being sought is legally required to be released, we do issue orders. And those orders are compelling orders, the same as orders of the court, and the enforcement is done by the High Court. Under the access to information, we've seen almost 100% implementation of the decisions of the Commission whenever members of public have approached us, and we've been able to issue orders for release of the information.
All right, beautiful. You speak of Kajuju having been there and left. You are here. And you are here and largely, an advocate of, addressing concerns to do with gender and social injustice or perhaps social justice. Why do you suppose we've not managed to achieve the 2/3 gender rule as, mandated by the Constitution?
I would say that there has been a lot of attempts to enforce the 2/3 gender rule, which mandate basically falls under the National Gender and Equality Commission, but we do work in collaboration with the National Gender and Equality Commission as well as other constitutional commissions to ensure enforcement of rights of citizens. There has been a lot of attempts, like I've said, with the legislation being proposed, and the formula of coming up with the 2/3 gender rule has really been the biggest challenge. But I am aware that the president put in place a task force that has been working on this item, and it's a key agenda of the president, and I'm sure very soon we are going to actualize the 2/3 gender rule principle as expected by the constitution, because there is the political goodwill right now.
All right. And of course, speaking of goodwill, would you confidently say that the previous reigns and your reign coming in, that concerns in relation, or perhaps complaints in relation to public service delivery, that you have addressed in the utmost of your capability?
Yeah, I would say that the Commission has been able to handle these complaints as they come. The majority of the complaints that we receive actually touch on delay in provision of services. Also, others touch on unfair treatment of Kenyans, citizens by members of public, and even employees by their employers. We've also received a lot of complaints touching on the